Welcome to the live replay. Today is May 22nd and we are going to be working on November in Janelle's journal. I just need to finish getting everything set up over here. We're doing a quilt theme for November, but I haven't actually picked the inspiration photo or anything like that. We just kind of chose the theme broadly, and I'm going to start looking for some inspiration right away here. Okay. Let's search quilt. And we know that we want to incorporate a mushroom into our quilt pattern because lots of people liked the idea of a mushrooms theme, but it didn't quite win, so I thought we could just incorporate one into the quilt. I thought I was going to find a lot more doodles for quilt doodle. Okay, there's this kind of thing. Welcome here, you guys. I'm just looking for some quilt doodle inspiration. Okay, this is not at all what I was hoping to find. I know I have saved somewhere on my board that Amanda H. Lee theme that looks kind of like a blanket. I guess maybe not really a quilt, but I don't know if I'll be able to find it because this board is like thousands of pins deep. Like something like this, I feel like could work as a quilt. We just add like some stitch marks and some little like maybe tassels to the edge or something. But I'm thinking of a specific photo that I have saved on here that will at least kind of get us started. Let's see. Quilt. I feel like I've gone too far back for some reason. That looks kind of quiltish. No, maybe I didn't go too far back. Amanda H. Lee's quilt theme. Or blanket theme. Hey, you guys, thank you so much for joining the live. I'm just hunting down some quilt bullet journal theme inspiration. And I have a specific one in my head that I want to find, but I can't. Maybe I'll just go Amanda H. Lee, and I'm pretty sure it was a January theme. Okay, this is someone copying it. Okay, right, that looks kind of quiltish. Is that meant to be a quilt, do you think? Or like a blanket? I always kind of thought it was, but now maybe it's just like a pattern. Okay, get out of here. I just want a screenshot. Okay. Anything else quiltish pop up down here? That's quiltish, but I don't really like it. I don't think I want to go with that style. Okay. That's quiltish and cute. A lot going on, but we'd simplify. Okay, I feel like that's enough. inspiration. Let me, oh wait, that's not what I meant to do. Oh, let me check comments first. Hey Verlena, hey Maria. Brittany, welcome here, you guys. You're hilarious, Maria. No talking. Okay. So let me pull out some of the pictures that I just screenshotted. Because we're looking for something quiltish for November. We do want to incorporate mushrooms somehow. At least that's what we were thinking last night, but we could change that if we are not feeling that way anymore once we kind of see what we're working with. But I will just kind of swipe through some of these. Is there a moderator here already? Let me see. Oh yeah, Alex, there you are. Calendar layout. Yeah, that's true. Quilt is going to be tricky for calendar layout. I feel like we are kind of limited to doing like one where all the calendar is together instead of like spaced apart, you know, because if it's spaced apart, that leaves us like this much room for a quilt. Whereas if it's like this, we could have like a quilt pattern over here, you know, or on the opposite side over here, right? I don't know. That's kind of what I'm thinking, but let's figure out the kind of vibe of the quilt that we're going for first. Oh, okay. I can tell that people are commenting. Oh, Jessie, I'm so sorry to hear that. How are things going? Are you doing better now? Is this good news then that you're in a live? Yeah, I thought of the actual calendar could be a quilt pattern. I did think of that. But, okay, well, let's just kind of vote for the vibe that we're going for. I just feel like we wouldn't really be able to doodle on the quilt very much if the calendar was the quilt, you know? Oh, I'm sorry to hear that, Jessie. Okay, so let's vote on the, ooh, thank you for the rose, Nikki. Let's vote on the quilt sort of style, and then we will figure out how we're going to do the calendar thing. Because part of me likes the idea of making the calendar into the quilt, but mostly I feel like that would just really limit us to how we could make the quilt look, because we wouldn't be able to put like big doodles or patterns or anything on it, because she needs to actually be able to write on it. Okay, so let's get a poll going for 5 options. I will swipe through them a couple of times here, so this will just be the initial swipe through. And yeah, just vote for which option you would like to see for a quilt. It's not going to be exactly the same, but these are all like quite different like vibes. So which sort of style you like the best. This is option 1 right here. Looks very like, you know, standard patterned quilt. I feel like I would add like some stitch marks or something to make it look even a little bit more blatantly quilty, but that's option 1. Oh, speed poll. Okay. Oh, I see, you ended a poll. Okay, and then option 2 would be something like this, something with like a very repetitive pattern on the blocks. Again, this picture isn't meant as a quilt, so we wouldn't do it exactly like this. I would try to make it look more like a quilt, like, you know, add a little stitched on border, stuff like that. But still, this idea where we have like kind of very repetitive pattern with images, patterns, whatever. That's option 2. Option 3 is more of like, it's still the kind of block by block quilt like this, whereas, you know, this one has a bunch of little pieces stitched together. Block by block, but more randomness in the doodles and in the colors. That's option 3. Option 4, not the same style of like, you know, blocks quilted together, but this theme always reminds me of a quilt, this one that Amanda Rachley did. So something like this is option 4. And then option 5 is more of like, it's still obviously a quilt, but it's not as uniform as any of the other ones. You know, like big squares on the quilt, rectangles, small ones, all patterned. I feel like I would try to tone it down a little bit. This one is a bit too busy for my liking, but that's option 5 anyways. So if we could get a poll up, it'll be underneath my name, and you can vote for options 1 to 5 for what you think we should use as the inspiration for our quilt layout. Obviously it will look different colors, different doodles, whatever, but inspiration wise. So option 1 is like this, very obviously quiltish, very like repetitive pattern. Okay, option 2 is like this, also repetitive pattern, but in a different way, you know, like kind of just picking 2 different blocks of cute doodles that we like and repeating it over and over. That was option 2. Option 3, similar as in like just, you know, squares up against each other. We would add stitching to any of these to make it look a little bit more obviously quilted, but this one would have more like randomness in the pictures and the colors compared to this one. Option 4 is this idea by Amanda Rylee, different colors, different doodles in the quilt, but this idea anyways. And then this is option 5, more like random size pieces of fabric, different patterns, different, yeah, colors, whatever. That is option 5. Oh, did the poll end? Did everyone actually, sorry, I didn't even realize. Did everyone get a chance to vote for it? Hey, Jesse. Oh, what did I just do? I accidentally clicked invite. I need to stop picking up my phone because I always do something wrong. Did people get a chance to vote? Sorry, Jesse. I hate to make you do it again. I was way too long-winded. I'm going to flip through them fast this time. So a 1-minute poll should be enough. Now that they've heard the explanation, I'll just flip through them fast. Okay, thank you so much. So, okay, we've got a 2-minute. No worries. 2 minutes. So let me show you the options again. So 5 different options for inspiration for our quilt theme. This is option 1, different like shapes of fabric, but very like repetitive pattern over and over with mostly just like key colors, not very many doodles on the quilt. That's option 1. Option 2, kind of picking a key pattern block and a key doodle block and just, you know, laying them out like that. That's option 2. Option 3, very similar to option 2, but instead of just one style of pattern block and image block, we would have different colors and different images that all fit a similar vibe. Option 4, whatever this sort of theme from Amanda Rylee, different little doodles on there, different colors, whatever, but this style instead of like blocks quilted together, you know? And then option 5. Much more randomness in like the size and shape of the quilted blocks. But yeah, those are the options. Let me know which one you prefer. I will swipe through them one more time without talking so much, and you can let me know which one you like. So option 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. I'm going to get some of these markers out of the way. Well, I guess I need most of them, but I'm going to get this one singular marker out of the way that I know that I won't need. Or I'm guessing that I won't need. Oh, and I got my acrylic marker set in the mail today, which I'm really excited to try out. I'm not going to try it out in this journal because we've been sticking with the same color palette for every month, and I don't want to like ruin that with 2 months left in the journal. But I am excited for those. Okay, so option 4 still won. Cool. Let's do it then. So option 4, let me remind myself. Oh yes, that was this one. Cool. So we're gonna stick with our typical colors. And so with this, here, let me stay in here because we've been doing this calendar thing where we don't have a title page. We just kind of have a key doodle over here. And obviously this is a title page, so we're gonna have to arrange it differently. So let me go to some of the calendar layouts that we have voted on from Ivana Journals. Okay, so basically I feel like it's going to be between these two, which basically the only difference is doodle here versus doodle there, because these other ones are spaced out so much that it wouldn't ever leave us like a large space for a quilt. And I feel like we kind of need a large space, otherwise it isn't going to look like what it's supposed to look like. So I'm thinking we just go back to this instead of bothering to vote, because we just did this kind of opposite side one. So I'm thinking we just go back to this, and then, yeah, just do that. Sounds good. Good chat. Let me pull my TikTok back up so that I can see any comments you guys have. Same as October, you're thinking? Oh, okay, perfect. Yeah, so let me see. We did for July and August. We did that one. This calendar layout. And we haven't done it in a couple months now. Oh, no worries, Jessie. Thank you for coming and saying hi. I hope you feel better soon. Oh, Elizabeth, yay! I'm so glad your journal got to you. Apparently there is a Canada Post strike happening and it's starting tonight at midnight, is what I heard. That is just what I heard as we were going for a walk, you know, small town walk this afternoon. Okay, so let's think colors here. I'm guessing we're gonna stick with all of our usual colors that we've been doing for this theme, because we kind of need a lot of colors for this theme. So let me just kind of swatch our lineup here for a reminder. I know, another strike. Have any of you guys heard about that? Any other Canadians, to like verify my source here? Because I've heard whisperings and somebody has mentioned the possibility of one, like on a live, somebody mentioned that, but I don't know. I haven't heard any confirmation until today, and she was like, yeah, it starts tonight at midnight. So I'm hoping that that's not true. It's so annoying with Etsy because they only print labels through Canada Post. They don't offer like FedEx or UPS or anything like that. So when people normally order, it's super easy to just print a label because Etsy is incorporated with Canada Post. But now it's just like huge headache, and shipping costs are usually so much more expensive with the other ones. So. Oh, cool, Rachel. Wow. Helpful resource. May 23rd, midnight. Ugh. Okay, well, hopefully they can come to an agreement. I don't know what their issues are, but they're giving me issues. Okay, that would be cool if they could come to an agreement in that much time. All right, so I need to pull up my reference photo here before I start sketching. Aren't we all Canada Post? Okay. Let me just trying to think of what color I want to make the outline for this calendar. I've always been doing a felt, like thicker line outline. So I want to stick with that. I don't want to do just a skinny, oh, okay. So I did that color for August and then September was mixed. And then July was dark brown. Oh, thanks, Allie. Oh, thank you, Morgan. Yes, I agree. I like my ring. Okay. Let me get started here. I'm just trying to think of if I should stick with a brown calendar or go with a color this month. Let me show you what I mean so that you guys can weigh in. Okay, so I usually I've always been doing some kind of felt outline instead of like fine liner. I like doing my calendars that way. So for October, you saw I did brown. We're not doing the September layout, so I'm not going to bother showing it to you because it's totally different. August, we did the same brown because it's one of the two browns in our color palette. And then July, we did a dark brown. And now we're in November, and I'm not sure. We're doing a quilt theme, which we just voted on. So I'm thinking, I don't know, maybe like green, purple, or back to the dark brown since we just used the light brown for a couple of months. This is the darker green of our two greens, by the way. Okay, I've seen enough greens to go with green. Linda, you haven't seen this journal? This is Janelle's Family Memories Journal. Got our calendar every month, memories page, and then very specific weekly spreads. That was July. August, we did this pond theme. She can write her memories on these lily pads and stuff. And then September, we did hot air balloon theme. And then October, we just did yesterday, we did a camping theme. And now we're doing November, and I think dark green sounds great. So I like the dark brown idea too, Alex, but I'm gonna be adventurous this month and go with dark green. So I want 2, 4, 2, 4, and put one there. I don't think Janelle has seen any of it. She's still in Maui. She's busy living. I know, right? She goes to Maui. I don't know if it's every year, but her and her husband do it quite regularly for their anniversary trip. That's their go-to destination. Yes, Morgan, on Etsy, exactly. Right now they're sold out because I just do one at a time, and I've got this one. But we're only 2 months away from finishing this one, so I do plan to add one to my shop. I'm thinking this weekend. But yeah, it's just one at a time these days. Oh, I forgot to even check what date. What day of the week November starts on. Oh, starts on a Friday? Is that, excuse me, Saturday? So I don't even need some of those dots. Whoops. Hey, Nat. Oh, hey, Paige. Thank you. Welcome here. Thanks for finding us. Okay, Jessie, how many places do you travel in a year? Because you just got back from Europe. Wavy Jess, I have traveled fun places. Okay, I've traveled mainly 2 fun places, and the second one, I promise you, is going to blow your mind. You've probably never met anyone who's been there. The first one, I went to Swaziland on my gap year for 4 months, which was awesome. We got to do, we were in Swaziland, Mozambique, South Africa a little bit. And then for a practicum for my linguistics degree, I went to Korea and not the southern one, which was crazy. But I don't know if that's something you can really talk about online. I mean, how would they know? But also, I would fear for my life if they did know. So I'll probably just leave that there, but yeah. Pretty cool. We got to teach. Yeah, so I'm in linguistics. And so basically we went there because they're trying to improve their English language education. And so we got to go there and teach a teacher's conference about how to teach English we were there for like 5 weeks. But yes, Africa was amazing. We got to go on a safari when we were in South Africa, a 10-hour safari, which was so, so cool. Mostly we were volunteering. It wasn't like a holiday trip, but we did get to do a little week away in South Africa, which is when we did most of our touristy stuff. Yeah, it was wild. The biggest thing I think that was a surprise to me was just like the poverty, honestly. So because we were foreign, we got put up in like this really, really fancy hotel and stuff. But it came out like while we were there that like they don't even power that hotel most of the year. It's just when like special foreigners come that they power the hotel. Otherwise it's just like sitting there unpowered, and like you look out your window and it's just like impoverished. Meanwhile, we're living in this beautiful, amazing hotel. I don't know. I don't plan to go back there. I would. It was really a cool experience, but yeah, that was probably the thing that stuck out to me the most, was just the huge wealth disparity and just like how third world country it was. Like we were staying in the capital city and it looked like the slums of Africa, where I was in Africa anyways, in Swaziland, in many, many places, which was just kind of crazy. Yes, we always had to be with a guide. We weren't allowed to leave our hotel without a guide. So yeah, we were just kind of in the hotel the whole time, and like it was mostly empty. It was basically just us and like a few other people staying in this huge hotel. Yeah, we were with the guide all the time. We got to do a ton of outings. That's one thing. They are very, very proud of like their cultural, just like everything that they have, like monuments and historic sites and all of that. So like they want foreigners to visit that. So we got to visit all of that and like get tours from our guide, everything. It was very cool. But yeah, we definitely were on like a very short leash, having to be with the guide all the time. Yes, this is November 2025. Yeah, it does start on a Saturday. She's got a Monday start calendar. Okay. Okay, let me see. Now I gotta figure out how we're gonna lay out the quilt and also what I'm gonna do with these random dots. Because I'm wondering, like, so these squares aren't in use. Should I just fill them all with this color, or like fill them all with green? Or just color over those dots with white? I don't know. Okay, and then we gotta pick how we're gonna lay this out. I could quilt the squares, yeah. I'm just... color with the color of the dot, white gel pen, white. I'm gonna do the quilt first, then we'll decide. Okay, so let's go back to my quilt inspiration picture. Now that we've got the calendar layout done. Okay. So I might use brown as kind of like the base for the quilt, like the outline for the quilt, since we didn't use it for this. Okay, how many dots in is this side? 6. So yeah, I wouldn't say I'm well traveled. I've really only traveled, I mean, and I've been to Mexico, and the States and Canada. I'm not well traveled, but I always have a unique travel story because I've never met anyone else other than obviously the people who were with me on the trip who has been there. Okay, now how are we going to do this? This is such a small little block for this quilt, but we'll make it work. These markers are just felt tip, but the pen that I used here was size 005, the smallest little one that I have. Okay, let's just start with some. Okay, we need things to go in rows. So I'm just gonna draw in some like kind of scallops on this edge. Yeah, exactly. And people can't even really go there if they want to. Like, so we could go, I could go because I was from Canada, but like I did have some people in my cohort that were American citizens and were not allowed to go to that particular practicum destination because of that, because they really don't take kindly to Americans. I was gonna outline white hearts, but I think I'll just white gel pen them on because it was getting super like, kind of hard to color so small in there. Yeah, Nat, I went to Korea, but not the South one. All right. No, we flew directly there from China. Yeah. There's not a lot of flights coming in though, or out for that matter. Not, I have no idea. Like, I mean, yeah. I don't know if they, like, have ways of monitoring that kind of thing. But, I mean, like, we were never allowed to, like, mention it by name during the time, like, or, like, leading up to it in emails or whatever. But it's been a few years now. I think I'm gonna have to do November in stamps on a paper and then paste it on top like Amanda Rylee did. That's what I'm thinking, Nikki. Because yeah, there's not a lot of space on here. I'm thinking I'll only have room for like 2 rows of doodle. Hey, like Amanda Rylee, she only has 3, so I guess that still kind of works. Hey Paige, how are ya? This month is a quilt, but we're going off of Amanda Rylee's theme here, and you guys should tell me what sorts of doodles to do in there. I want them to be cozy. So we talked about mushrooms yesterday being one of them, so that's definitely going to be one, but I'm going to need more options than that. So yeah, I think I'm going to just assume that I will only get to do 2 rows of doodles. So I'm going to do another scallop in the middle here. Mushrooms, leaves, flowers, candle, coffee. Was there a washi tape rolling by? I didn't even notice. This desk is crowded. Yeah. I think I've mentioned it on here, but we're moving in, well, it's still a ways away, and I will hopefully, I mean, I know I'll have more space. I don't know if I'm going to have like a whole room to be just my office space, but I'm very excited to have a bit of a better setup. Moon, a bee. Oops, now I knocked my clip off. Okay. All right, I want to bring in a very like cozy red for our mushroom. Yeah, that works, I think. Okay, please. Yes, I am pleased with how this journal is going. As I expressed last night, I am definitely getting tired of these weekly spreads throwing me for a loop, so I'm ready to be done with that aspect of it, but I really like the themes that we've come up with. And I love, like, I've never done calendars like this before. Like, yeah, my calendars would normally fill up like this much space, and then I pack the side with like a note section and just have room at the top for doodles. So there's like no white space, but I really think this is a very cute way to do calendars. So, oh, and the family memories pages I've been loving. It's really just the weekly spreads, and it's mostly just because they're frustrating me. One more stitch on the right side for even. Oh, yes. You guys. You got it. All right, little mushroom. Cute. And then, which other ones did I see? Oh, yeah. The flower, I feel like I'm going to bring back some of the flowers from the first month's theme, because I really loved how those little blue flowers turned out with like the white gel pen swirl on them. So I'm going to bring those back for this theme. Maybe I should do all my white gel pen at the end. Okay, now let me look and see. Hey Patty, how's it going? Moon, pumpkins, mushrooms, leaves, flowers. Candle, coffee. Okay, I could do a little like coffee bean. Maybe I'll do a little mug, but I'll wait and I'll do that later so that's not right beside the coffee bean. I'll do a little bee maybe. And I feel like a bee, an upright bee would look better on a quilt than a flying sideways bee, you know? So we'll do an upright bee with some and then maybe just light gray leaves, wings. Autumn leaf, yeah, could do that. Oh yeah, and then someone said a fern leaf, which I should separate those from the... Wait, Patty, did you get your journal? Oh, you did! Okay, good. I'm so relieved because now I was hearing that there is a Canada Post strike starting tonight. I was like, oh no, I just hope it made it out of Canada before the strike starts. So that is a relief. I'm gonna bring in one of our other flowers from July just for a little bit of theme crossover. Oh wait, I guess I don't need to come up with totally, like I could repeat doodles, but too late. Oh yeah, she's only got like not this many doodles that repeat. Whoops. Oh well. We are gonna have a good variety. Okay, what else was I thinking of doing? I just had an idea. Oh, acorn or pine cone? Yes, could do that. Maybe I'll do a little acorn. I feel like I'm packing this too full. But it's just such a tiny little quilt. Like I wish I would have had room to fill 3 dot widths or even 4 with doodles instead of having to squash it into 2 because this is really tight. Okay, yeah, this isn't gonna look like a fern, but that's because I don't have very much room. I feel like it's still a cute doodle. And it's fern inspired. Okay, and then what else? Oh yeah, coffee cup. Maybe I'll do a blue coffee cup. I feel like, I think I only have room for 1 doodle there. So maybe I'll do a coffee cup and then just like intentionally leave some space for steam. Okay. Yeah, these are such tight little doodles. Okay, now let me go in with some more white gel pen and add some more. Okay, one thing I didn't think about for a quilt theme is how are we gonna carry these doodles over into the weekly spreads? without drawing an entire quilt on every single week, because I would go crazy. Where am I? Here we go. Okay, now I'm gonna just stamp Nove, just keep it nice and short on here. And then stick it on. Okay, you guys need to keep these ideas in mind when we actually get there, because I want to flesh these out a little. I'm just going to do Nove because November would take up that entire width and I feel like that would look bad. I'm going to add a little very light grid pattern behind the Nove because I don't have any cute paper. Otherwise I would put it on. I wouldn't do any crazy paper because there's already a pattern going on behind it, but something that's not just plain grid paper. So I'm just going to do a very light grid pattern. I shouldn't do that on top of there because I make color on the journal. Oh, you're so right. I did miss the acorn gel pen. Oh, that's actually a good thought. I could write November on the empty squares in the calendar. How would I do that? What if I would actually... Although I feel like that does kind of look cute on top of it, you know? What do you guys think? So I could cover this up with grid paper and write November on there somehow, or I could go with this. I'm gonna add a little like border around it as well and then paste it on, was my plan anyway, but maybe let's not do the same brown we've been using for everything, but I'll neaten that out in the cutting. I know I don't want to cover the doodles, but oh, and then I drew that box too big. But don't worry guys, I'm cutting around it, so the fact that I am adding this, like the whole outside is going to be cut off. So I know that looks horrible, but believe in us. Okay, round these corners just a little, not enough to use my corner rounder because it's pretty aggressive. Okay, there, that is what I was thinking of doing. So maybe let's do a quick poll. Oh no, Patty, I didn't. I haven't really been on TikTok much today. Kind of just pop on for my lives and then disappear. Okay, so let's do a quick poll with only two options. Close-up of the doodles for you guys. Okay, so option one is going to be to go with this. Just paste it on top. Yes, it will cover up a couple doodles. Too bad. But yeah, this is option number one. Option two is to paste white paper over top of this part maybe so that it's not interrupted by lines. And then write November on there. Maybe even do this same like, same grid sort of background drawn onto here and then stamp November. Like kind of, I still like that heading, but just move it over on top of the calendar instead. I like how this looks, but I understand if you want option 2. Could we get a poll going? I can't tell. Maybe there already is. Oh, there totally is. Okay, underneath my name, vote option 1 if you like this. We'll just paste it on right about there, I think. And vote option 2 if you think we should cover up these boxes so there's no green lines separating them, and then stamp November onto here, maybe with a light grid background like that too. Go ahead and vote under my name. True, Jesse, that would put November underneath the days of the week, but yeah, sorry, the more of you I turn into moderators, the more it cripples your voting power. Yeah, sorry guys. We used to do votes in the comments like this all the time, but now we've got moderators, thankfully, so we can do the polls up in the top left-hand corner. So go ahead and click that little like clipboard sort of icon and put your vote in there, because then it will just automatically count everything up. 1 wins. Okay. Cool. Well, all that cutting for 30 seconds was worth it. Sorry, little doodles that are gonna get covered up though, because they're so tiny and now they just have to get covered. But I feel like this is kind of the best place to place it, like close to the top, not in the middle, hey? Oh, now I'm second guessing. The coffee cup is my least favorite doodle, so maybe I put it there. Cover up my insecurities. What do you guys think? I feel like top looks nice, but middle covers up the coffee cup. Top, okay, fine. Fine. I'm on board with top. Okay, there we go. Calendar page, not done. Psych, because I need to figure out this. I'm kind of leaning towards just white gel penning this. I feel like it's a silly thing to have to white gel pen because it's so light, and like the white gel pen is almost as noticeable as that color itself because it's like one of the lightest colors I own, but whatevs. It'll be quick. It'll get rid of our troubles. There. Easy peasy. I do, Kenny. Yes, I sell. This is a 6-month custom journal for memory keeping instead of planning. I want that white gel pen to dry a bit before we go on to the family memories page. Okay, what are we going to do for the family memories page? Because we could turn, it wouldn't go with this vibe of quilt exactly, but it's still on theme with quilting to do like turn the whole page into a quilt where we just like, you know, leave the patches colored in or with like a very neutral pattern that she can write over top of. What do you think about that? Turning this page into a quilt, but then leaving it empty for her to write in. Okay, let me see if any of our, none of our example pictures really fit that. I feel like this is the best example of that, but like not this chaotic. Nothing against this spread, but very like, you know, more so solid boxes or like just a plain pattern like this sort of gingham sort of thing, or just stripes, like keeping it very neutral, mostly light colors so that it's easy to write on top of. Does that sound good? Maybe I'll put the same border around it so that it carries through that same theme. But okay. Oh, cool, Kenny. Who did you make the Avatar theme journal for? That sounds crazy. Yeah, that's a good idea, Elizabeth. Do like smaller boxes that have like one of these designs, but like a little bit bigger than it is on here. And then bigger boxes. Oh, I see. Like you didn't just make it all in one go and then give it to someone. That's what you've been working on as your own journal for the past while. That's really cool. Okay, let me. Yeah, totally, Kenny. That is what I used to do as well, and still until I started selling customs. Well, not really to organize my art. I just would do it for the purpose of having a cute planner. I really don't do artsy things outside of setting up bullet journals these days. Cool, Kenny. Yeah, exactly. Bigger boxes with like subtle patterns or just solid colors that she can write in. And I think I'm going to do the scalloped edge all the way around here. It's going to be a bit of a pain to do all the little hearts, but I feel like it would be cute, so we're going to do it. And then we also need to stamp family memories onto one of the blocks. Nighty-night, Paige. Oh, Paige, sorry, I didn't even ask about your trip. And I actually remembered to bring my first ever journal today, which I know you've been asking about. But now you're off to bed. That's okay, I'll bring it another time. I'll just leave it down here so that we can walk down memory lane sometime. Yes, exactly, Alex. I like that idea. All right. Oh, and Robin, I don't know. Robin, sorry, if you're here, I haven't noticed if you've commented or not, but if you're here, let me know and we can pack up your journals tonight. Get them all charmed and name-paged. I have a good feeling about this page. I just really hope it doesn't disappoint. Do you guys think I should stick with a heart in every scallop on this page or every other? I was gonna do every, but now I'm thinking I should ask around first, see if that will be too much. Faye, so it totally depends how many months you're ordering. Yeah, I guess that's the short answer. Every other. Oh yeah, good idea. I can totally just try every other first, and then we can revisit the question. And then another random question, but do I make them all upright no matter which, you know, like upright heart here, upright heart here, or like here I had the side ones facing in? Should I make them like, oh, I'm thinking I should do them all the way. Faye, a full year and a half, if you're wanting 2-page weekly spreads every week, won't fit into just a single journal. That caps out at 12 months. Oh, TikTok is gonna close me out if I don't prove that I'm not a robot. Sorry. Oh no, unable to verify. Okay, there we go. Sorry about that. Okay. Yeah, so a year and a half, if you want full 2-page weekly spreads for every week, would not fit into a single one of my journals. But if you just need 1-page weekly spreads, we could chat about that. I don't have that as like a normal option, so I would have to like kind of calculate how many pages that would take and then get you a quote for that. Not all upright. Okay. Well, let's just give this a go. So, okay, but then, so on the first page I did the sides facing in and then the middle upright. So everything facing in, is that what you guys are thinking? And then the ones on top would be upside down, or everything facing out? It's the little nitpicky things, like you wouldn't think it, but there are so many like little decisions that we make in every spread. Facing in, facing out, everything upright. Oh boy. Okay, I don't want to make this into a big thing. Oh yeah, totally face. Some customers send me like exact pictures of every spread that they want. Facing in, facing out. This is hilarious. Literally for every person who comments one way, the exact next comment is the opposite. That's so funny. Okay, well, to be safe, I'm going to start with the bottom row upwards because that will fit. Oh no, that won't fit the facing out. I'm going to start with the bottom row upwards though. And go every other for now, facing upwards. And then, okay, so I'm realizing already there's going to be an odd number, which means, oh, it's fine though. A heart would fall, oh, sorry, you guys couldn't even see that. Heart would fall over here, but there's no over here, but that's actually fine. I thought that would look weird, but it doesn't. Okay. How do we like every other? Every? The humps of the quilted edge and the humps of the heart. Every. Okay, well, I think I'm gonna do the sides facing in because that's how I did on the calendar. And then we can figure out the top. Like if you think it would look silly to have it upside down, then we can cross that bridge when we get there. But I'm gonna do every one facing in and work my way all the way around till we get to the top. And then I'm gonna read whatever comment I see up or down and put them facing that way. Okay, but we were talking about traveling before. What are some of the coolest places that you guys have traveled? Oh, whoops. I need to remember to fill in all the opposite ones down here. Iceland, Antigua. I don't even know where that is. Where is that? But Iceland, that sounds very cool. My husband's grandpa was stationed there during the war in the Air Force for a time. Lebanon, cool. Ooh, Dubai. Very cool. Okay, Paige, so you did make it safely to the family holiday, or I don't know if it's a holiday, but family get together. How'd the drive go? Oh, Uniball Gel Impact. I've used the Uniball Signo, Uniball Signo, and I do really like those. I just don't have one that still has any ink in it. So I'm relying on the old jelly roll. Okay, and let's see. Aaliyah said down. That's the comment that I saw. So we're going with it. Oh, good, Paige. Yeah, my toddler, he's typically pretty decent at long drives because we do that. We make the same 8-hour drive fairly frequently to visit family. So he's usually pretty good about it. But this last weekend, he was just, I don't know if he was actually getting like cramps or if he was just uncomfortable or if he just thought he was uncomfortable because he had to sit still for so long. But he just was not having it. The baby was great though. Oh, one of the islands in the Caribbean. Oh, okay, cool. Okay, cute. Yeah, totally, Paige. Has he done that drive before? Or like recently? Okay, now, next question. So the next kind of element that I used was always a pink line with a green kind of stitch mark beside it. Should I use that to divvy up all of the boxes, like just go in and outline things with pink, stitch mark, and green? Or should I just start filling with pattern, you know? That's my next question. And then hopefully I'll stop asking so many questions and just start cruising. Inspo pick. For this spread, this is the inspo pick, but really toned down so that she can write on top of all the boxes. So her picture just goes from one box to the other. You know, there's nothing in between. Yeah. But then, yeah, this is the inspiration picture for like how we decided to lay out our calendar spread. And so we're carrying over that feel, but for this specific page, something like this. Okay, so you guys are thinking pink with green, like, so instead of just one box running directly into the other, there would be a pink line here with green stitch marks on each side. And then the pattern or the color would start. Does that sound good? Put a yes if that sounds good and comment what you think would sound good if that doesn't. Yes. Okay. That's enough yeses for me. And I'm going to make them random sizes so that some of them I'll put little doodles in. Some of them will have room for like writing down a big memory. Some of them will just have room for something small. And then we want family memories stamped into, maybe I'll do that right in the middle actually. Yeah, let's do something like that. So that looks about like the middle. Okay, I'm just kind of like taking notes here on how she did this pattern. I feel like I'm gonna like this when it's done, but right now I am uncertain. Kendra, me too. Me too. Okay, but let's do something like this. Okay, what shall I do down here? Maybe bigger memory box, and then little doodle box down here. Another memory box. Okay, trust the process, you guys. This is going to look good at some point. Not now, but at some point. Okay, let's draw a line here and then see what we get. Now prepare to get sick of doing dashed green lines. Another hand cramp coming on. Yeah. We'll see. It actually, I didn't even get a really bad hand cramp yesterday from all those grids. I feel like the more like precise details I do, the more hand cramp potential there is, but thankfully I don't do a lot of precise details in my journals, so not a lot of hand cramps for me. But yeah, yesterday was definitely a close call doing all those grid lines. Did I get all the vertical lines on that page? I think I did. Keep going over here. Oh, you did, Jess? No way. What were you setting up? Were you starting with a monthly title page? Yeah, pink gingham would be cute. Oh, cute, as your name. That's a great idea for a name page. Yes, we're gonna do like light colored patterns or just like full color squares for the boxes that she's supposed to write in, which are most of them. Like most of these are going to be writable, I think. That's my plan anyway. Okay, vertical lines done. Yes, well, all of the small boxes are going to have matching doodles from the first page. That's my plan. I'm really trusting the process here. I feel like this is looking a little chaotic. Okay, half done the horizontal. Did I miss a line? Yep, I did, thank you. Oh, I missed two. This one and this one. maybe even 3 that I'm not seeing. Let me know if you see any more. Another one? Yeah, the long one. I'll finish that one now that I'm on this side of the page. Okay. I don't think I missed any on this side. I think I was thorough. We good? Oh, Kenny, no, I did not have any nausea at 22 weeks with mine. It was a thing of the past at that point. Okay, let's do some doodles. I know that I want the mushroom to make an appearance. I think I'm gonna put it right here. That one's pretty prominent. A nice prominent spot. Any other doodles from our calendar page that you for sure want to have a home in this memory spread? Put the white gel pen on that one later. Oh, fern. That's a good idea for one of these like slightly bigger ones. I feel like I'll have room for almost all of the doodles that I did, so it shouldn't really be an issue fitting them in. Put the coffee bean over here. I'm going to do all the white gel pen later, so don't worry. I will do that. I'll put this little flower over here with some light green leaves. I'll do the other flower. Maybe over here. Oh yes, B, that's a good one. Bow, right. Okay, I think I'll fill this one yet, and this one. Should I fill this one too? It's a, like, it's big enough to write like, went to, you know, I don't know. I was gonna say Taco Bell, but I don't think that would make it onto your monthly memory spread. Okay, so went somewhere. I'm for sure gonna do these two though. Okay, so we'll do our little B up here because I feel like he could use a bigger one to get a little bit more detail. Well, yeah, I am filling all the small boxes, but I'm just wondering what all counts as a small box. You know, like, am I putting a doodle in here, or is that big enough for a memory? And what about this one? Is that big enough for a memory? You know, like, these ones are for sure small, but I'm just not sure about some of the other ones. That's what I mean. What counts as a small box to fill with a doodle? Okay, there's a little bee. What was the other one? Oh yeah, I'll just do a cute little bow up here. I don't think I'm gonna add a new doodle at this point. Sorry, Gilbert. I feel like we've got so many to choose from already. Oh, the stinger. Okay, yes, stinger, there. Okay, upper right corner, oh yeah, yes. That one, it's just this one, and this one that I feel like are kind of borderline. I was thinking I would leave them as memory spaces, but I don't know. Okay, then I'll leave them. Because yeah, some things, you know, you just want to write a quick note, like not went to Taco Bell, but something equally quick, you know? You don't need a lot of space for all memories. Okay, there we go. See, I have like itty bitty writing. Like the size of these calendar dates, that's how big I actually write. So I could definitely write like a full sentence in this box. That would be ample space, but I know not everyone writes like that. I'm going to stamp family memories into here and do the same background that we did for this box. And then I'll move on to adding backgrounds to the other boxes. Okay. Family memories, where I never know where to put my ink pad because my desk is beyond overflowing at the moment. Okay. Oh, thank you, C. Do you do a bullet journal? I appreciate the follow. Thank you, Patty. Okay, that's looking pretty cute. Now, tell me, I think I know what the answer is going to be, but... Oh, sorry, guys. Should I leave it like this? Okay, let's do a poll. The poll is going to have 3 options. Is there one moderator who would be available to do a poll? Because my plan was to fill these boxes with different colors and patterns. But with the green stitching in there, I feel like that's tough because I can't just color over the green with some of these key colors. But I feel like it would also be weird to leave like a gap around it. I don't know, but let's do a poll with 3 options. Okay, Alex, that would be awesome. So 3 options. Option 1 is to leave it exactly like this as it is and move on. Option 2 is to add only this pattern to some boxes, like kind of scattered around. So a lot more white space than what I originally was thinking, but I like it more than I expected to at the stage that it's at right now. So that's option 2, is to fill a few boxes with this pattern. And maybe also like the same type of pattern, but with the thicker end of the same marker, like kind of a gingham look, but just keep it all the designs in this color, very light, very subtle, and only some boxes. Some will be completely white. That's option 2. Okay, and then option 3 is to go with the original plan and fill every single box with patterns and colors like this, not as bold as this because I want her to be able to write on top, but similar idea. So there should be a poll up under my name in just a moment. If there isn't already, let me see. Oh yeah, poll right underneath my name. Could you go vote for option 1, 2, or 3? I'll say them one more time. Option 1 is to leave it just like this. Option 2 is to use only this color and fill in only some spaces with very simple, minimal designs like this. Option 3 is to fill every space with different colors, different spaces, that kind of stuff. Yes, okay, good. Good. That's the one that I was hoping would win, in case you can't tell. Okay, so we'll do a few more with this exact pattern, and then I think I'll do some with like the thicker stroke gingham style as well. Right? That'd be cute. I can mix the two. Okay, Shay, right? That's what you said your first name is, because I have not yet been brave enough to take a crack at pronouncing your middle name. I am actually loving this theme, like more than I expected to. Okay, yes, I thought so. Okay, and sorry, I saw a lot of questions coming in and I did not answer any of them because I was talking about the vote here. Okay, let me see. Bible journaling. Oh yes, I keep meaning to start that. I just have not actually committed to one yet. Okay, and then what was the question here? Oh, want to start journaling. Do you have a list of suggestions for tools to get started? I actually just made that page. So I'm working on the bullet journal guide for the journaling kits that I'm hoping to launch soon. And so, yes, that's one of the sections in there is supplies. And I kind of like rank it in order of what you need and then what you should look for. So the first thing that I would recommend is just like getting an actually good bullet journal with nice thick pages. 160 GSM is my personal preference. That's what this is. And that's the most important supply in my opinion, because if you have a bullet journal with really thin pages, the ink will just bleed right through and nothing will look as good as it looks in your head. So that's the most important thing. Next, for me, is markers. I don't use a lot of fine liners. Some people outline everything with fine liner, and so the important thing is getting a good set of fine liners. But for me, markers. And so for markers, I recommend starting with the Crayola Super Tips. The pack of 100 is amazing. It's got great color selection, and learning how to do calligraphy and doodles and stuff with those felt style tips is a lot easier than with the brush tips, because there's less like, you know, variety in how you can move the tip essentially. So that would be the next most important thing in my opinion. And then yeah, fine liners. Fine liners, I've had the Pigma Microns. They're pretty popular. I feel like any fine liners that I've tried from like Amazon or even some that I've seen from Temu are just as good. That's not something I would spend a lot of money on, but you probably want them. And then after that, I would say white gel pen is my next most important supply. I use white gel pen way more than I use black fine liner, but I know that's not the usual. So white gel pen, the Jelly Roll in a size 10 or the Uniball Signo would be my recommendations for that. And that's like more than enough to get started. So don't feel like you need to go out and buy everything. But if it were me, the next thing that I would get would be maybe like an ink pad and a pack of stamps. I love stamps because they're not like consumable, like washi tape or stickers where you can use it a few times and then it's gone, you know? So that's why I like stamps a lot compared to those other things. I think I'm gonna, sorry, I have little burps. I think I'm gonna do the gingham sort of pattern in here and then the thin line one in there, and then I think we'll be done. Isn't this so cozy? I love how this is turning out. Yeah, totally. Don't go with the expensive stuff, except for a journal. That's the only thing I would say is, and I mean, it doesn't have to be expensive to be good, even for a journal, but that's the one thing I wouldn't go pick up at like Walmart, you know? I would actually order a bullet journal from a bullet journal store. But other than that, go to Walmart, go to the school section, and you will have good enough tools to get you started. I love how this turned out. So much better than I expected. Okay. Before I start thinking about the other spread, I don't think I've seen Robin in the comments today. But Robin, if you're here, let me know before I move on to the next spread, because I would do your name pages if you want. Okay, now then, we've got to figure out weekly spreads. And weekly spreads with this one, I feel like could be tough. Can you guys remind me of the ideas that you had before for weekly spreads? Because just putting it out there, I'm not doing this for every week. I'm not going to make a border and all the boxes and stuff. I would love to. I think it would be so cute. But because she has twice as many weekly spreads as a normal journal, that would take me way too long. So something different than that. But how would you guys set up the weekly spreads? I know some of you guys had good ideas before. So drop those down below. I could do, I'm trying to think. I could do like one strip down the side of each page or one box in the top corner. But I just don't know how I would fill the rest of the page. Okay. Oh, hey, Anita. Okay, the border, I just drew the outline, drew the scallop, colored it all in, and then white gel penned the hearts. Is that what you mean? Okay, what are we voting on? We're not really voting yet, but I'm looking for ideas. So we're doing this quilt theme for November, which we're obsessed with so far. But now we need to figure out weekly spreads. And I'm not doing this for every week because she has twice as many weekly spreads as a normal journal. If there was just 4 weekly spreads, I would consider doing this and then having boxes for her different sections, but that would take a million years. So how can I take this sort of theme and condense it to like, you know, a reasonable amount of doodles without leaving the whole page looking white, you know? I don't know. So right now people are just putting ideas. But yes, we can do a quick recap. Okay, while you guys put your ideas, I'm going to do a quick recap. This is Janelle's journal. It's a family memories journal, not a planning journal. So it doesn't have like standard pages. It's got very unique pages that fit her specific lifestyle. So every month, no title page. It just jumps straight into these little calendar spreads. The spacing and everything is inspired by Ivana journals. So calendar, July, we did this little cottage and some flowers. Family memories, space to just write down memories for the month. And then her weekly spreads, very specific, basically just like prompts that she wants to fill in each week. And she's got 4 of them for each week. So a lot of weekly pages. And some are structured, but she doesn't give me headings or anything. So she's going to fill that in. And then some are more open. Then August, we did this little pond theme. Ducks, lily pads, dragonflies we added. Family memories, she can write her memories onto these. And then these are the weekly spreads for August. September, we did a hot air balloons theme. So this is our calendar spread. And then this is the family memories page. And then the weekly spreads turned out like this for September. October, we did a camping theme with just like outline doodles to try something new. And that's the calendar. This is the family memories spread. And then this is how the weekly spreads turned out. Just little camping doodles. And yeah. Okay, so that's where we're at. Now we are on November. And we just did the calendar and the family memory spread today. I need to read through some of your guys' comments to see. Ooh, lost both games. Oof. I know the feeling, unfortunately. Small town softball team. Okay. Quilt squares with a needle. Pink, light and green. Oh yeah. The pink and green boxes to separate, there's pink and green lines to separate boxes. I think a stripe down the side and a large green box. Okay, let me see. Patchwork, yeah, but I'm just trying to think about how to structure the weekly layouts to carry on the quilt theme without having to turn the whole page into a quilt. That's what I'm trying to figure out. Oh yeah, Sierra. I know quilt squares would be cute, but I just don't know where to put them or how to do it so that I could just have like a quilt square and not turn the whole page into a quilt because we have a lot of pages to do. Okay, so let me think. So the other awkward thing is that these weekly spreads are so much more awkward than normal weekly spreads because I don't get to write in the days of the week. So there's nothing to like, you know, kind of signal what goes where. It's just on some of the pages she requested a little bit of structure and on some of the pages she wanted it fully open. So it's kind of awkward. That's the thing. Yeah. Big patches. Okay, I feel like you guys are probably giving good ideas. I'm just not understanding them. Mini quilt in the corner. Simple bubbles. Okay, what if I do... Just trying to think of where I'm going to put the date and everything. The fruit theme, I think I see what you mean with like fruit going down the middle. The only thing is then I would have to draw all of the doodles directly on the center, which I feel like would look kind of bad. Okay. Okay. Sorry guys, this shouldn't take me so long to think about. I'm just having a hard time because I'm thinking like maybe a quilt square up in the corner and then just like a key doodle, like a mushroom down in this corner, and then just kind of figuring out, you know, like that's effectively what we did for September was doodle up here, doodle down here. And for October, doodle up here, doodle down there. But then we ended up like working with the space a little bit differently, you know? So I could do like quilt square up here, doodle down here, and then figure out what to do with the space. That's kind of what I'm thinking. Okay. Yes, yes. Because I'm sure that you guys are giving great ideas, but it's always so hard to describe ideas, especially in comments when you can't, like, you know, point things out and, you know. Let me see if any of these other spreads make me think of... See, I don't really want to do this, like a big quilt thing down the middle. Actually, I could do a big quilt thing down the middle and then stamp Nove, like the dates, into there, and then not have to do as many doodles because it would be partially the dates. Oh, maybe I could do that. Okay, so let's see. Okay, let's maybe do a poll here for 2 options. I know that will be more... I need to not do the ones that take more work just because they take more time, but I know that will be more work doing it that way compared to the little quilt square, but it's okay. If it's what is cuter, then we'll do it. And what about this? No. Okay. So could we get a poll with just 2 options? We'll just do 2. I'm not going to bother looking on Pinterest because this is such a weird theme, like, you know, that I feel like Pinterest wouldn't have what we're looking for. So 2 options. The first option is to do a little quilt square up here, little like mushroom doodle, coffee bean doodle, something from the quilt down here, and then just kind of fill in the rest of the space with the boxes that she needs. Kind of like we did in October. Doodle, doodle, fill in the rest of the space. And then option 2 would be more like August. We would do a quilt strip down the middle, stamp on the dates, and do a few of the quilt doodles beside it. That's option 2. So 1 is more like October, little quilt square, doodle, fill in the rest of the space with what she needs. And then option 2 is more like August, strip of quilt down the middle, stamp on the title on here, and a few doodles. What do you guys think? There is a little poll under my name here. It looks kind of like a clipboard. So go ahead and tap that. Option 2. Okay. Now then, I'm just going to go ahead and mark the center point on all of my pages. I don't think I'm actually going to be able to finish this. Well, I know I'm not going to be able to finish this. It's already 10 o'clock. 15, 16, 17, 18. Yes. Oh, Kimberly, so you haven't been here in a while because we've got some lovely moderators now who put polls up for us and make it so much easier to not have to constantly be counting votes and trying to ignore like double votes and everything. Yes, it has been so nice having moderators. So thank you, mods. Or... Okay, I think this is the right number of pages, but let me count. Okay, so let me check. October, we went up until the 2nd of November. So this week is covered. So yes, we just need 4 weeks, which means 8 pages, right? Or 8 double pages, like 8 2-page spreads. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay. Good night, Jess. Thank you so much for joining. Get some sleep. Okay, if I do it like that big, that's probably good. Because then the scallops will come in a bit, but still leave enough space to put our doodles. Okay. 3. Thanks, Kim. Don't look too close, they're not that straight. Oh yeah, that would work, Kimberly. Thin tape. A ruler would also work, but I'm afraid I lack the patience for such a thing. Okay, let's do this. Oops, that one got lumpy. Exactly, Sarah. That's one of the most annoying things. I mean, first of all, doing it with a ruler does take more time. That's the main reason why I don't, because I don't mind the imperfect look of just natural lines like this. But yeah, whenever I do try to use a ruler, because I see a theme that I'm like, oh, the crisp lines really suit that theme. And then I use a ruler and then the ink gets just dragged all over the page and smudges up my page. Overrated. But yeah, some spreads definitely just like call for a ruler. Like crisp lines just go so well with certain themes. But for the most part, I just stick with my gut. Sometimes it does, but not usually. Smudge, sorry, when I flip the pages quickly. The theme for these pages, let me show you, is quilt. So we did this little quilt doodle for the calendar, and then this is our family memories pet spread. So that's what we're doing, and I'm just starting to set up the weekly pages right now. So you probably can't really see the vision yet, but we're doing a little like strip of quilt down the middle with the heading for each page. Oh. Yeah, I'm trying to see. Oh, I see. She has fancy pens. Do I? Maybe if I was using pens, it would smudge more, but my water-based markers do not smudge a whole lot. occasionally they do if I'm coloring like layers of ink and then I turn the page really fast, but for the most part, or like, you know, at the end of the stroke where there's like a little ink kind of pocket, sometimes that one dot will smudge if I turn the page so fast, but usually they're pretty good. Yeah, the pickup and starting dot. Yep. Killer. This one is a Tombow. Or no, sorry, it's not, but it's the same thing. They're like basically the same. Lero Aqua Brush Duo, but very, very similar, like as far as how they write and everything. We're getting close. Okay, yes, 2 more and then we've got to go the other way. Yeah, young Rylee would never believe how much stationery I have now. A very unnecessary amount, to be honest, but I do enjoy using it. Well, thanks for the follow, Melissa. Don't worry, I am definitely impatient too. Honestly, I was just thinking about that today. I feel like watching a live like this would infuriate me because it takes so long to make like noticeable progress. And also, I color things in such a random order sometimes that when you guys are following, you're probably like, why is she doing that right now? So I don't like, you know, I don't wrap up one thing before moving on to the next. And I feel like that would really bother me if I were watching, but just trying to maximize efficiency. When you're doing 192 pages by hand, you've got to do what you got to do. Sorry, guys. You guys did choose the more time-consuming option, so I'm going to put that on you partially. But yeah, these scallops are taking a while. Aw, Isabel. Sorry to hear that. How long has it been since you've been journaling? I know, I haven't actually used a physical bullet journal since 2022, but I do want to start one again. I'm thinking July will be my month. It will be worth it, yes. And I post the replays I post them the following morning on YouTube, so you can ×2 speed. Just, of course, then you can't like participate in votes and stuff and see the comments, but if you really want to speed it up, you can just catch it at a later date. I am making a custom bullet journal for Janelle. So let me show you what the theme is for this month, since you asked. Could use a break from drawing scallops. we're doing a little quilt theme for this month for November in Janelle's journal. So we just did the kind of calendar and title spread, and then we did her family memories page, and now we're working on the weekly spreads. So they're can't really tell what's going on yet, but they will take shape soon. How inconsiderate of your laundry, Sierra. You know, mine's got that same attitude these days. Oh, thanks, Alyssa. Thank you, the best ever. Yeah, it's been a fun journal. So this is for Janelle. It's a family memories journal, not like a planning journal. And so she gave us freedom to choose the spreads. The themes. Her only specifications were that she didn't want any holiday themes. And in December, they are going to Disney. So she wants to somehow tie that into December, which is our next theme. And then the other thing was the colors that she likes are more like natural colors, like browns and greens, which are also the colors that I like. So I've been really enjoying that color palette. And we've actually been using the same color palette, give or take a color or two every month for this whole journal, which is not normal, but I personally happen to love this color palette, so I'm good with it. But yeah, we need to finish these weekly spreads. And then we only have one more month left in this journal. So I do plan to open one more journal spot this weekend so that we can finish this journal early next week. And that will give me time to, kind of meet my new customer, correspond with them, figure out exactly what they're looking for. And then we can start working on that one next week once we finish December in Janelle's journal. Give me anxiety for it. I know. Too many spreads. I'm definitely like I said, I love this color palette, love the kind of vibe that Janelle likes, but the weekly spreads are killing me. I'm really excited to move on to a more standard journal. But I do really like the themes that we've put together in this journal. Yeah, so Kiki and Sierra, so my son, he started doing this when he was like not even 1.5, but when he's in his crib at night, he always stays awake just playing for a while, and pretty much every night he'll take his jammies all the way off and put them all the way on, and we can always tell in the morning because he'll usually wake up and the top and bottom will be like both inside out and backwards, and the socks will be like under the crib. He's been doing that for ages, and that's just like how he learned how to dress and undress himself. Like, I never taught him that, never tried to get him to be like independent in that way, but now he just like dresses himself all the time because he's been practicing in his crib trying to fall asleep, which it's always so funny getting up to see him in the morning. It's like, oh, yep, your pants are totally backwards and the tags are flopping everywhere because they're inside out. But also a very helpful skill. Oh, totally. They do look like gingerbread house. This would be the perfect color for a gingerbread theme. Oh yes, sorry Jess. Yes, these are the Lyra or Lyra, I'm never sure, Aqua Brush Duo. I have never heard of these before. They just reached out to me on Instagram a few years ago and offered to send me a pack, and I love them. They are like the most similar feeling to Tombow that I have ever found. None of them fray on me or anything. I don't really know what like kinds of sets they offer these days. I know back in the day, it was like I said a few years ago, they just kind of sent me their generic, I want to say like 36 pack or something, which I liked some of the colors. They did not have any like super, super light colors like the ones that I like using for highlighting, but they did have good colors. But yeah, like on their own, they wouldn't be like a complete pack of markers for me because I always like having a few really, really light options. But yeah, if you're looking for something like very similar to Tombow, these feel just like Tombows. But yeah, like I said, I hadn't heard of them before. I haven't really checked on them much since, so I don't know like what their pricing is like these days, what sorts of sets they offer, anything like that. But I do know that the quality is really good. Oh yes, I can show all the other months. Just let me color this line. I could use a break, to be honest. My wrist is getting a little bit crampy. Nothing major, but okay. Next year. Okay, so you wanted to see all the other months? Yes, so this is only a 6-month journal, so we're on the second last month. But the first month is July. There's no title pages or anything. Just jump straight in with a calendar spread like this. Family memories spread with lots of space to write down things the family does throughout the month. And then her weekly spreads, very specific to her. Not a lot of structure at all. But yeah, that's what those are. August, we did this little pond theme with some ducks, lily pads. I love this family memories spread. She can write her memories on the lily pads and puddles. And then these are the weekly spreads. And then for September, we did this hot air balloon theme. And then we have her family memories page. And then her weekly spreads for September. Then we've got October, we did this camping theme with just outline doodles to try something new. And then this is the family memories spread for that month. And then these are her weekly spreads for October. 4 to 10, that's the date. So let me go back. Yeah, Aug 25 to 31 or whatever. That's the week that it's for. And then this is kind of the title of that page. Okay, where am I at? Oh yes, and then now we are currently working on November, which is this little quilt theme. And so far we've done the calendar page, the family memory spread, And then we're working on the weekly spreads. And then Kelly, hey Quartz, thanks for joining. Oh, I have 2 of all of them, Anita. Yes, this is a very unusual journal. She's got double weekly spreads for every week. So it's taking a little bit of extra work. And when I say a little bit, I mean a lot. And I'm definitely ready to be done with that aspect of this journal. I really love the other aspects of it, but the weekly spreads I'm making so many mistakes on them because it's just so unnatural to me to not have weekly dates, to not have like uniform weekly boxes, that kind of stuff. And then to have 2 copies of each week, I keep forgetting. Anyways, okay, and then who was it? Kelly, yes. So it is sold out on Etsy. I only open one at a time. So this one, since it's only a month and a half away from being completed, like a month and a half in the journal away from being completed, we just need to finish November and then do December. I am planning to open one more spot this weekend. I don't do a wait list or anything. And last time, so when Janelle bought this one, it sold in like 7 minutes. So if you actually think you want it, please follow me on Instagram because I'll have like the countdown in my story, the link and everything. Yeah. So that is why it is sold out right now. One will be restocked this weekend so that we can finish this one early next week and then start working on the next one next week on live. Oh, and okay, Maria, your first question. No, I'm not going to finish this on live tonight. I think I'm going to finish coloring in the scallops. And I don't think I should keep going past that because it's already 10:22. And then oh, camping. Like tenting? Or what kind of camping do you guys like to do? But I mean, yeah, sad that you'll miss it, but fun that you're camping. I am in Canada, on the prairies. Oh, you're going to miss the journal. I thought you meant the live. Yeah, that is too bad, I guess. Sorry about that. Yeah, I don't know. I wonder if there's a better system, but that's just the system that I've been doing these days for taking my orders. Sleeping in your Jeep. That is a commitment. How many nights are you sleeping in the Jeep? Like lie the seats down and sleep across them? Because that's what I'm picturing. Yes, this one. So, oh, right. I filmed a flip through of Patty's journal and I have not edited it yet, but that's the previous journal that we finished. This one, once I'm done it, I will film a flip through. So the complete flip through always gets posted to YouTube. And then recently I have also started sharing the live recordings, like recordings of all of our lives. Just the next day sometime I'll upload it to YouTube. So if you can't catch it at this time, but you would like to watch some of it, you can catch them anytime on YouTube. Two nights. Okay, wow. What am I doing? Okay, Simone, I'm working on a custom bullet journal for Janelle. So right now we're working on November. We're doing this cute little quilt theme. There's our kind of title and calendar, family memories, and we're working on the weekly spreads. And so yeah, we've been filling this journal with all the different pages that Janelle wants to keep track of memories for her family. So we're getting so close to being done. This is the second last theme. Okay, more scallops. Oh, thanks, Simone. And if it works, you guys, I may try to go live tomorrow afternoon. Normally I go live around this time on weekdays, but tomorrow being Friday, I know I'm not going to. We'll either visit family or just spend time together, my husband and I. So if it works, I will come try to mostly finish Janelle's journal in the afternoon. But if my baby is not having it for naps, then this will be it until next week, I guess. Aw, thanks, Zavi. Sorry if I'm not pronouncing that right. I go live typically Monday to Thursday evenings at whatever time it is for you right now. I usually start 2 hours earlier from now and go till about now. This is typically when I would end, but I do post all the replays on YouTube if you want to catch the replay. Okay, cool. So Hooked by Kim, so TikTok lets you download your live. You can either download like clips to post as a TikTok, which I never do. Or you can download the entire live. And that's what I've been doing. I don't know, maybe there's a better way to do it, but that's just what I do. I download the whole live and then make a quick little thumbnail for it and put it on YouTube. But yeah, it always offers to like make a compilation of your best clips, which is always like when there's the most engagement. But the most engagement is like always when I'm doing a vote. So I'm literally just sitting here talking, should we do this option? Like pointing at my iPad. It's like, that is definitely not the most interesting clip to turn into a TikTok video. Yes, I do ship to the US. Absolutely. I've got empty bullet journals, as well as these custom journals, which are currently sold out. One will be restocked this weekend. And then I do also have like printable bullet journals, digital bullet journals, if that is more your thing. I just uploaded my June printable journal today. I did a little kite theme. Thank you for all likes, you guys. I appreciate that. I do have one calligraphy workbook in my shop, yes. It just goes through the whole lowercase alphabet in calligraphy and kind of like the technique behind it, and then lots of like practice sheets for tracing and instructions and all of that. The price, yes, totally depends how many months you want. That's the biggest determining factor. Okay, almost done. What theme? So this month in the journal is quilt theme. So we've got our little quilt title there, and then this is our family memories page, and we are working on scallops for the weekly spreads. Are we almost done? Oh, last one. Okay. Sleepover. Thank you, Ash. Yes, I will do the hearts on the scallops on all the weekly spreads. I feel like I have to. They would look so bland without them. We could revisit the every other scallop debate, but I feel like I'll just end up doing it on every scallop just because that's what we've done so far. Okay, there we go. Finally done with the scallops. Let me show you guys. Sorry, Soy La Lola. I'm not trying to dodge your question. I don't typically offer 2-month. I do 1, 3, 6, 9, or 12. But I totally could, if you want to, maybe just DM me so that I can figure out how many pages that would include and then try to like work out a price for that. Okay. Here we go. Quick little flip through of Janelle's journal so far. She's got her initials as her charm choice. And then here we've got her July theme, which was this little cottage and flowers. Family memories for July. Weekly spreads look like this. August, we've got a pond theme. Then family memories. She can write her memories on these. And then weekly spreads look like this. And then September, hot air balloon theme, family memories, and the weekly spreads look like this. October, camping theme, family memories page, and the weekly spreads look like this. Whoop. And then we just today did November. So little quilt theme inspired by Amanda Rach Lee. Here's the calendar and title, and then here's her family memories page. And then we're working on the weekly spreads, but I am going to have to continue with the weekly spreads tomorrow because it's past my bedtime. So thank you guys so much for joining me tonight. As I was mentioning, I will be opening up one custom journal slot this weekend, probably Saturday afternoon. And last time it did sell in about 7 minutes. So if you actually want to get it, since there's just one, please follow me on Instagram because I post the exact time that I'm going to make the listing go live, all of that on Instagram. You can use the code LIVE50 to get everything in my shop 50% off. All journals come with a custom charm of your choice, as well as a custom name page in the front. And yeah, thank you guys very much. I am not sure if I'll be live tomorrow. I won't be at this time of day, but I'll try earlier in the afternoon if it works with my husband's schedule, my baby's naps, all of that. And if not, I won't see you guys till next week. So thank you all very much for joining the live and have a great weekend if I don't see you before.